Who Wants to Be a Millionaire ruled TV, and the world was still figuring out what to do with this whole internet thing. It was also a weird time for adult animation. Some networks were experimenting with boundary-pushing cartoons, while others had no clue what they were doing. I'm looking at you, Playboy TV. In this video, we're diving into 5 adult cartoons from the year 2000. Some were hilarious, some were wildly underrated, and at least one of them was so bad it makes Drawn Together look like high art. From lost TV experiments to shows that were doomed before they even aired. This is a look at some of the strangest animated offerings of the new millennium. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's take a trip back to a time when networks had no idea how to handle adult animation. Number 5, Queer Duck.
Queer duck, he's intellectual. Queer duck, he's homosexual. Please don't think that he's perverse. He's the patient's favorite male nurse. He's okay, he's just fake, 'cause he's openly gay. He's a truly queer duck. Queer duck.
I'm gay as a goose.
Before streaming services were the kings of bite-sized animation, there was Icebox.com, a short-lived hub for weird and wonderful web cartoons. And one of its most notable cartoons, Queer Duck. Showtime swooped in and picked up the series, using it to fill airtime after episodes of Queer as Folk. Because what pairs better with groundbreaking LGBTQ+ drama than a sassy animated waterfowl?
Gee, Dad, I'm waiting to find the right girl.
Yeah, what with a P?
The show ran for 20 episodes, each just 3 minutes long, making it the perfect watch if you have the attention span of, well, a duck. Created by Mike Reiss, who also worked on The Simpsons and The Critic. Queer Duck follows Adam Seymour Duckstein, a gay nurse who also happens to be, you guessed it, an anthropomorphic duck, voiced by the legendary Jim J. Bullock. Queer Duck navigates life, love, and an endless stream of ridiculous situations, all while satirizing gay culture, homophobia, and let's be honest, just about everything else. The show also introduced us to a colorful cast of characters, including Openly Gator, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson.
You do? Oh, Queer Duck. Oh, don't look at me, I'm a mess.
Bipolar Bear, played by voice acting legend Billy West.
How about you, Bipolar Bear?
Oh, I already told my father. He was totally shocked. And so was his boyfriend.
Mrs. Duckstein, Queer Duck's Jewish mother, voiced by Estelle Harris.
Mother? Father? I'm gay.
I think I'll go check the Kugel.
The series also dives into Queer Duck's personal life, revealing a Jewish mother in denial, a diabetic dad named Morty, a straight brother named Lucky, and a lesbian sister named Melissa. If you thought 3-minute episodes weren't enough, Queer Duck even got a full-length movie, released on the gay-themed channel Logo in 2006.
I watched them sing and I watched them dance and I watched all the bulges in the sailors' pants.
You watched all the bulges in the sailors' pants?
Queer Duck the movie featured an upgraded voice cast, including Tim Curry, Conan O'Brien, Mark Hamill, Bruce Valanche, Andy Dick, and David Duchovny. That's right, Mulder himself was in a movie about a flamboyant cartoon duck. Let that sink in for a minute. While Queer Duck never hit mainstream success, it remains a cult classic, breaking ground for LGBTQ+ representation in animation, one fabulous quack at a time. Sammy. You'd think a David Spade created cartoon about daddy issues would be a huge hit. Well, NBC thought otherwise. Co-created by Spade and Drake Sather from Zoolander, Sammy was loosely inspired by Spade's own family dynamics. It follows James Blake, a successful TV star, whose long-lost absent freeloading father Sammy suddenly reappears. The moment James makes it big, because nothing says "I love you, son" like showing up with open arms and an open wallet. The show's character designs were handled by Everett Peck, the twisted genius behind Duckman, which should tell you everything you need to know about the show's aesthetic. Slightly grotesque but oddly charming. Unfortunately, Sammy premiered on August 8th, 2000, directly against Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which at the time was devouring TV ratings like a game show Godzilla. NBC pulled the plug after airing just 2 episodes, making it one of the fastest cancellations of the year. Of the 13 episodes produced, the rest were left in the void, until a heroic crew member sent them to a fan, who then uploaded them to YouTube, proving once again that the internet is the ultimate lost media archive. Now here's the thing, the cast was stacked, but there was one small issue. David Spade voiced both James and Sammy, and let's just say there wasn't exactly a wide vocal range between the two.
I see Todd still managing to elude that anorexia bug that's been going around. Apparently he uses food to fill small voids in his life, like, let's say, growing up fatherless. Easy, let's keep it friendly.
If you've ever wanted to hear Spade argue with himself for 22 minutes, Sammy is the show for you. That being said, I still watched every episode. Not once did I feel like I was forcing myself to get through it, which says something. If nothing else, it's worth checking out just to hear all the familiar voices, and to witness a rare piece of animation history that NBC tried to erase. Clerks, the animated series. If you thought Kevin Smith's Clerks was too low budget to be animated, ABC was here to prove you wrong, for about 2 episodes. Premiering on May 31st, 2000, Clerks, the animated series, was based on Smith's cult classic 1994 film. The main players, Dante, Randall, Jay, and Silent Bob, were back, joined by some surprising new cast members including Charles Barkley, Bryan Cranston, Alec Baldwin, and Tara Strong. The character designs were handled by Steven Silver, best known for his work on Danny Phantom and Kim Possible. Unfortunately, ABC did everything in its power to make sure the show failed. Not only did they air only 2 episodes, but they also aired them out of order, starting with episode 4 followed by episode 2, which contained flashbacks to episode 1 that still hadn't aired yet. Confused? So was everyone else. It's like they actively wanted people to turn the channel. With a rollout that disastrous, the series was doomed from the start. But thankfully, Comedy Central picked up the remaining episodes in 2002, giving the show at least some chance to be seen. Now, Clerks, the animated series, is far from a masterpiece, but it deserved way more love than it got. It had sharp writing, great voice work, and a unique style. Unfortunately, none of that matters when your network buries you faster than an unpaid blockbuster rental fee.
I find it hard to believe that no one noticed that either.
It looks like a big bong. Hey, that looks like a big bong, too. Now that's the ugliest damn bong I've ever seen.
God, the Devil, and Bob.
So, folks, meet your last chance for salvation.
Wow. This is good beer.
Oh, boy. Well, folks, I wouldn't make any long-term plans.
Imagine if The Simpsons met the Book of Job, but with a lot more beer and questionable life choices. That's God, the Devil, and Bob, a sharp, irreverent animated sitcom that was way too clever for network TV. Premiering on March 9th, 2000 on NBC, the show followed a divine wager between God and the devil over the fate of humanity. Their test subject? Bob Allman, an average beer-loving auto worker who must prove that people can be decent without divine intervention. Basically, the fate of mankind rested in the hands of a guy who probably couldn't even fix his own car.
If I write you up one more time, your ass is mine.
Jack, I'm flattered. And, well, curious, of course.
Shut up and get back to work!
You know you have an attractive build for a portly man.
You better ease up on him.
Of all the shows on the list, this is one of my personal favorites. It's smart, funny, and packed with an incredible voice cast, including Nancy Cartwright, aka Bart Simpson.
Going round and round about this, or are you gonna call the principal and tell him I'm dropping out of the 7th grade?
Alan Cumming as a smooth-talking devil.
Work to do, my loathsome toad.
Evil work?
No, knitting. Of course, evil work.
Oh boy.
Now shut up and let me think.
And the legendary James Garner as God.
You can tell me.
Sometimes I think about chucking the whole thing and starting over.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear you say that.
In fact, Garner enjoyed the role so much that he later wrote in his memoirs how much he loved playing the Almighty, which, let's be honest, it's probably the coolest flex you can put in a memoir. Despite its wit and charm, the show ran into trouble almost immediately. Religious groups were not amused, and combined with low ratings, NBC pulled the plug after just 4 episodes, leaving the remaining 9 unaired in the US. Fortunately, international audiences got to see the full run, and the show eventually found a second life with reruns on Adult Swim in 2011 and DVD releases. While God, the Devil, and Bob never got the recognition it deserved, it remains a criminally underrated gem. If you like your comedy smart, irreverent, and just a little bit blasphemous, this one is well worth checking out. Playboy's Dark Justice.
Yes, Sarge.
And I think it might be wise if we found you a separate shower and dressing room.
But I thought I was to be treated no differently than the rest of the men, Sarge.
What a rack.
Beg your pardon, Sarge?
I said, don't talk back. I'll decide who showers with who around here.
Every now and then I come across a show so bad that I have to stop and question why it was ever made in the first place. And friends, Dark Justice is that show. Out of all the animated series I've ever watched, and trust me, I've seen a lot, this one might just be the absolute worst. Unlike most of the talk shows, variety specials, and reality fluff you'd expect from Playboy TV, Dark Justice attempts something different. A serialized, story-driven animated series. Bold move, Playboy. Set in the dystopian future of Metro City in the year 2120. The show followed Justina, voiced by adult film actress Veronica Hart, a vigilante heroine fighting crime. Sounds promising, right? Well, don't get your hopes up. Because as you might expect from a Playboy-produced show, every plot, no matter how serious, somehow led straight into adult situations. Behind the scenes, Michael Nin directed the series with Robert C. Englund serving as the technical director, lead animator, motion capture actor, and the voice of Wendell. And just in case this needed even more of an authentic touch, a bunch of adult film stars were brought in as voice actors. The animation itself was done with 3D Studio Max in Character Studio, and let's just say it looked exactly like what you'd expect from a late 90s adult-themed CG show. For better or worse, Dark Justice was the only film or TV production from Hope Ranch, before the company was scooped up by Pure Play Media in 2002. Not that anyone was asking for a second season anyways. There's barely any information about the series out there, and honestly, that's probably for the best. Some things are better left forgotten, and Dark Justice might just be one of them. As always, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos just like this.